Hey, Kelvin. Second half, I believe you guys were plus 15 on rebounds. A lot of second chance points. What was the difference, or what was the turnaround there from the first half to get that stuff going in the second half?
Well, a lot of it for us is, normally this time of year, Joseph, and I know I've said this, is that everybody's played 13 or 14 or 15 games. Coming into tonight, we only played 8. The problem is your new guys. I mean, it's so early for them. I spent a lot of halftime talking about rebounding, talking about our bigs. Bryson had more post touches than he had rebounds. We're not winning with that formula. Reggie was a mannequin. He was just wearing a uniform. Come on, son, ball shot, miss. Somebody needs to go get it. We had two guys on our team that were rebounding at halftime, Dejan and Justin. And those were the two kids I thought was exhibiting great toughness, great, things that we preach in our culture. Second half, everybody stepped up. One of the things that's helped us this week is we had so much time to practice. We played the 20th, 22nd, 26th, 29th. And where that really hurt us was our COVID guys. Guys playing their third game in 7 days or fourth game in 9 days after having isolated for 10 days. We just, that's difficult unless, no sense talking about it, but just to say that after the Tulsa game, we played that on a Tuesday. Not having to play till Sunday was a blessing, because now we could finally give them a day off where there's nothing. I said, as disappointed I am in the way we played, I also understand it a little bit. So let's just everybody stay away from the gym on Wednesday. And then when we came back in on Thursday, we worked on Houston Thursday and Friday, and then worked on SMU Saturday and this morning. But we needed a lot of work on us, on our offense, on our execution, on role distribution. It's hard to do that when you're not practicing and you don't have your guys. I mean, and SMU's probably has already done it. I'm sure they had their COVID issue earlier. Some teams are going through it right now. I know UCF and Tulane canceled the game, but that thing is real for coaches and players. The second half, I just liked our execution. I liked the ball movement, and I liked our rebounding. We looked like a Houston basketball team.
We'll go to Mark Berman, Fox 26. Mark, go ahead, please.
Kelvin, you talked about the second half. You opened the second half on a 10-0 run, and then they cut it to 4, and you go on an 8-0 run. How important were those stretches in the overall?
Yeah, I think the big thing is stay on the balls of your feet and keep going forward, not getting backwards. We've done a lot of winning around here, so I'm not going to sit here and make excuses for some of the games we've lost. But one of the hallmarks of good teams is you stay on the attack, especially on the road. We wanted to stay with them. If they pressed us, we wanted to go score. If they were in their if they were hard hedging our ball screens, we wanted to get in the paint. And I think by getting in the paint, we drew their bigs up to help off of penetration, and that allowed our bigs to get in on the offensive boards. Being 13, I think we're plus 13 on this team on the offensive boards. And I don't have I do. I'm trying to figure out, see how many points we scored. We scored 21 points on second chance points. That's who we are. Whether it's against Texas Tech or South Carolina, Temple, SMU, at some point you have to be who you are. That's how we practice and that's how we play. But I thought that Dejan Giroux, he's had a good year so far. Tonight was his best game. He had no turnovers in the second half. I got on him about his discipline in the first half. But last year we came in here and they scored 15 points off our turnovers. Tonight they scored 12, but we didn't have a lot of live ball turnovers. But Justin Gorham, 11 points, 19 rebounds. You know, I love that kid. He embodies our spirit. His toughness is his greatest strength. You know, he's a tremendous role model for a lot of kids that you don't have to be a 5-star talented guy to be productive. There's a lot of really talented guys never had 19 rebounds in a game. But Justin is a winner. It's a blessing to be able to coach a kid like Justin. He represents everything that we value in our culture. Without Justin and Justin Dejan, those two guys the first half carried us, and then the second half we had a lot of guys chip in.
How impressive is this win to you? Big, it is the third game on a road trip, if you will. With all things that are going on around you, you're playing without Caleb. How impressive is this win to you?
Well, playing without Caleb is we played with him all year. You know, he didn't play. You know, from the first half against Texas Tech into the Central Florida game, he was out with injury. Caleb's ankles were bad. I mean, he sprained his ankle on November 13th, and then he came back, I think, 2 days before Tech, played the first half, didn't play the second half. And then he was out from the 29th until December. He was out almost 5 weeks. So when you say without him, I mean, we're used to playing without him. But for our kids, you know, we just kind of keep our nose to the grindstone. You know, it's been a long time. You know, we take pride in bouncing back after losses. But, you know, every season you're going to have a pivotal game. And we talked about that yesterday, that this was one of those pivotal games that kind of defined our program over the last 3 years, last 4 or 5 years, actually. And, you know, it's no fun playing 3 straight road games. We may be the only team in America that plays 3 consecutive road games in conference play. You know, especially back close together, like 22nd, 26th, 29th, and then the road games were the 26th, 29th, 3rd. The thing that helped us again was having some time to get some kids rested and work on Houston. But it's a big win, no question about it. Winning 2 out of 3 on the road is a huge accomplishment. I'm proud of this team. Very, very proud of this team.
Go to Chris Gardner, please. Chris, go ahead.
Coach, you kind of stole some of my question about Justin Gorham, but his rebounding, do you see, or do you think, or do you want him to become more of a 3-point threat as well, add to his offensive game?
I'm not sure what you mean by that. He was 3 for 4 against Temple, and he's 1 for 1 tonight. So he's an opportunistic 3-point shooter, Chris. You know, he's never going to be Marcus or Quentin or Caleb. I'd say Caleb, Corey or Caleb or Armani. You know, he's not going to get that many. But when he has them, he has the green light to shoot them. I like him shooting open threes. I just don't want him hunting them.
Thanks a lot.
Go back to Joseph. Joseph with Chronicle. Go ahead, Joseph.
Kelvin, I'm not sure if you can elaborate, but in terms of the statement that went out earlier with Caleb.
Before we get into that, Joseph, just real quick, does anybody else have any questions about SMU? Because I'd like to finish on that instead of having it midway. I know you guys are doing your job. You have to ask. I just want to know, does anybody have anything else about SMU?
No, I'm good on that front, Kelvin.
What about one more on SMU, Coach? Just, you kind of discussed going into the game about Kendrick Davis, and I think he had I'm not sure how many he had in the first half, but you guys, sort of withstand that run, with him, and being able to contain, just in terms of what you were able to do with them and him.
Yeah, he's a terrific talented kid. He's probably the only kid in this league that can shoot 50% from the 2, 40 from the 3, and 90 from the free throw line. Just a gifted scorer. Terrific passer. But, we weren't going to shut him down. I thought Marcus did a good job. He made some tough plays. I mean, he made some tough shots. But, you know, he took 12 shots. He was extremely efficient tonight. But, you know, Marcus had 17 and didn't play the first half hardly. So, you know, you're not going to stop Kendrick Davis. So we didn't try to stop him. You know, what we tried to do was make sure we got out to those other guys and not let somebody else go off and beat us. I was disappointed in the way we handled Ferran Hunt the first half. But, you know, we tweaked a few things just in our defensive coverages. And Bryson and Reggie. I thought Reggie's tough. Reggie and Bryson at the 5 spot tonight I thought was very good.
All right. Any more questions about the SMU game from anybody? Okay. All right, Coach, would you like to address the statement that went out earlier today? Is there anything else you'd like to say?
Not really, unless somebody has a question.
Well, Coach, I wanted to just, based on the statement, is he still with the program? Are you still expecting him to play this year?
I don't know, Joseph. That's a very fair question. It's a great question. You know, I talked to his father yesterday. I don't know. You know, I care more about. I think where I am with it is I care more about Caleb than I do whether he plays or not. And whether he plays or not, that's irrelevant to me in the big picture. You know, I want him to be comfortable. You know, between COVID and his injuries, and you know, he's just had a lot of stuff going on. You know, whatever they think is best for him, I fully support.